We've now played 35 games, 25-10, coming off a really good, tough week. 2 games against Florida State, lost both those games against a top 10 team. Hoped to win one, but we didn't. Did not play well. Disappointed our effort. Went over to Georgia State, a conference series. Played extremely well Saturday, I felt like. Thought we got the things we wanted to do done. And then again on Sunday, as at Troy, had disappointing game 3. Dropped that game in 13 innings, I believe 8-7. And now we move into really the key week probably of our Sun Belt season. Against top 25 RPI, Texas State, and a midweek game on Wednesday night with Southeastern Louisiana. Any questions?
Coach, the midweek game, is that something that you kind of wish wasn't there, or can it be a benefit? How do you kind of look at, y'all haven't had a whole bunch of them lately. How do you look at the midweek?
Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter whether I want it to be there or not. I think we got it right now. Every win and every game is critical. It's a must-win for us, and so we'll get ready for the game tomorrow, and we'll concentrate on Southeastern until then, and then Thursday and Friday we'll move in and get ready for the series with Texas State. I guess anytime you face a big game, a big series in conference, you would like to have the whole week to prepare for it. But on the other hand, it may end up being good for us to get back out there and get our feet back on the dirt after the loss yesterday, which was a hard loss to swallow. But it is what it is. We got it on the schedule, so we'll use it. And we definitely need to play road games. One of the biggest challenges, I think, of this young team is to get much better on the road. And so I'm looking at it as a chance to go out again Wednesday on the road and learn from what's happened to us so far this season, try to improve as a ball club on the road game.
As far as Texas State, obviously they're very good. They got a good record. What's the thing that concerns you about the matchup?
Well, Rupp's a tremendous pitcher. She's really good, and she's a veteran. That's, I think, the biggest concern I have is they're a veteran ball club. They've got senior pitcher, senior catcher, senior shortstop. They've got some transfers in from Power 5, and they're playing really good ball. They're full of confidence right now. Very determined team. They had three wins this weekend, 1-0, 13 innings, and then they won 4-1 in game 2, and then they come back with a different type of win in game 3 where they score 7 in the bottom of the 6th, I believe, on their way to a 9-6 game 3 win. So I always say, winners win, and that good teams figure out different ways to win, and that's what Texas State's doing right now. So it's going to be a tough matchup where we're kind of on opposite ends. I think their core unit, their core group of their team has been together now for their entire careers. The Rupp sisters are really good, really nice players, and we're kind of a young team trying to find an identity and put it together. And that anytime you got the veteran experience, I think it's got to be a big advantage in their minds.
Before the trip started, you were kind of at the position where maybe this girl entered the lineup and you're still not quite sure. Where are you? Did you solidify anything on the trip, or are you still in the same position?
I'm never. When you get beat like we did at Florida State, we got lost soundly and 7-1 and 8-0, and when you get beat like that, I'm not going to sit still. We're going to look for answers, try to become better. I thought Saturday we changed the lineup around, moved Rodriguez down into the 2-hole. I felt like maybe we put a little bit too much pressure on her in the leadoff because we're also trying to turn her into more of a straight-up power hitter instead of a slapper. And so we've done a lot of mechanical type changes in her swing and her approach at the plate. And I thought, it's probably not fair asking her to lead off, so we put her in the 2-hole, and it worked really well on Saturday. So even in the 13th inning, it paid off. She hit a double in the gap. So I like that. I like that lineup with her. And then, of course, Kara Grimion was outstanding on the weekend, hit really well in the 3-hole. So keep looking for ways to tweak the lineup and maybe get a little bit more out of what we have. And then keep people, if you feel like they're feeling the pressure, maybe give them a little bit of relief by making a move to get them in a different spot in the lineup. Or if they're really red hot, move them up in the lineup. And so we'll continue, I think, to look for something that will win a regional at the end of the year. But I was overall offensively, I was really satisfied this weekend with our effort. Except that Sunday we left too many runners on. I think we had like 16 runners left on base. We had 12 hits and 8 walks, a hit by pitch. So you got 9 free passes and 12 hits. I felt like we could have scored double-digit runs in that game, and that never would have been in question at the end. But overall, for the most part, I thought our offense was very good this weekend.
Coach, if you had to pick a girl who was the most surprising player from the time that you started with them up until now, who would you select?
Well, I'm really pleased with the entire pitching staff. I'm really pleased with Summer. Obviously, I think that's an easy one to grab her, because I never would have. When I got here in November, I didn't dream we had a pitcher of her caliber on the roster. So I'm extremely pleased with her. But Kylie Joe, we got her back this last few games. I think she went 7.2 innings this last few days, and really pleased with her. And then, of course, both the freshmen, Boswell and Dixon, have really done well at times. Offensively, they're all working so hard. I'm proud of the changes they're making and the battles they're all fighting individually to get better. A lot of them are cast into a situation where maybe they needed a little more time to be where they're at. I feel, the Shomo kid has been so good for us. But when you look at that, she's a freshman. And, when Holland got hurt, we put her at second base. She's been outstanding for us. She has very few errors the whole season. But we put her out there really with a little bit ahead of schedule, I think, for her to be in that much spotlight at a young age. And she's been great. And, in the 7th inning, she hits a double that extends our lead from 5-3 to 6-3. We got a runner in, I believe, from first with 2 out. And then in the 7th, we had the throwing error. But you got to remember how far she's come and how important it is to be patient with these young kids. And they're out there fighting themselves. They're really fighting hard for our program and our team and for our coaching staff. I couldn't be more proud of Cassidy. I think she's going to be a phenomenal player. And it's just a matter of me mentoring her and helping her and being patient with her. And then along with her, Beth Ashley has made a lot of great changes. She had 3 2-out RBIs in the game 1. She had to hit to the fence in the 13th inning. It would have been a home run if the wind hadn't been blowing in. It still got us the go-ahead RBI and give us a 7-6 lead going in the bottom of 7th. So I was really proud of her. Obviously, the Grimions, we know how good they are, but Courtney's over at freshman. She's a redshirt freshman at first base, and just really been a great player for us and hit over 300 the last 10, 12 games. Really proud of her and how she's doing, and in the shadow of her big sister, which isn't always easy to be the younger sister of an athlete like Kara that's just absolutely outstanding on defense and offense and in so many areas of the game. So I could go on and on. I'm proud of Kelly Martinez. She's totally bought in now to hitting instead of slapping. And I think she had 3 straight hits down the stretch at that Georgia State Game 3. Really clutch for us. And, we're asking her to make changes like her in her senior year. Probably might even be more difficult than asking the young kids that are freshmen. And so I'm really proud of the kids. Rodriguez has come in here as a slapper bunter, and now we're asking her to hit, and she's got 4 or 5 extra base hits, I believe, in the last few games, the last 18 games of the season, the last third of the season. So I could go on. Como has really done a good job battling for us, catching. And she's obviously not she's battling some health things, and all catchers do, but I'm really proud of her effort and what she's doing for our team. So I think it's important in a time of a tough loss, a 13-inning loss. I think my main focus right now is I have to have my kids know I'm behind and I believe in them and I'm proud of them and I trust them, and we got to make a run here. I'm looking at the season in thirds. First 18 games, these last 18 games, and now we go into the final probably 18 to 20 games of season. I think it's really important to kids. I don't over-magnify what happened on Sunday in Game 3, which is a game obviously we all wanted to win. It was a critical game for us. but it's really important that they know how proud I am to have us at a point in the season where we're still, I believe we're 24th in RPI this morning. In November, I would have never dreamed we would be a 24 RPI team, and the kids have done that by battling themselves, and I just got to have their back this week.
Is the going away from the slapping about not being good enough at slapping, or not having, just to have more pop in the lineup?
More pop in the lineup. I mean, we've got to get more pop in the lineup, and we've got to be, we just got to be more versatile. That's a third of, you look at it, a lot of times we're playing slappers in a third of our spots in the lineup. So trying to just create more. And I was looking back, like the first 18 games, we've had, I think we had 24 extra base hits. These last 18 games, we've went up to 42. 41 extra base hits, and that's a big part of the reason is we want to, in this next 20 games, I'd like to see us get that number up in the 60s, and I think that will get us in a potential to do some damage in the postseason.
Hey, Coach, the trip to Florida State, obviously the end result wasn't what you guys had planned, but how important are playing teams like that for the development of your team?
Really important. Those were losses those games were, for me, there's a no loss there. It's a no-lose situation. It's win-win all the way. If you win a game, you get an upset, you get a benefit from it in the RPI. But also, if you lose that game, when you've got a really young team with a lot of young players, it points out how hard we need to work the next few weeks and how important it is we develop. Because clearly, everybody on our team, we'd like to be a top 10 team soon in our program, but we're clearly not at that level right now. And every once in a while, you've got to get your nose blooded and your tooth knocked out, so you really go back to fighting hard to get where you want to be, and you don't create an illusion that you're somewhere you're not. And so Florida State's a great team with phenomenal coaches. They're extremely well coached. They're super athletic at every position on the field. And they were ready for us. They knew it was a big RPI game for them as well, because their conference is one that, their RPI, they knew it was an important game, and they were very well coached and very well prepared that night. And, it was a good lesson for our young kids, I think.